which, definitely a big reason why they're up 1-0 here in what is game number 2 in the winners bracket finals. Corrupted Disciple, though, he will continue to be the big figure here for TDM, at least in my mind, and he is now at 300 gold per minute. So again, he has been recovering. He has a helmet of the Black Legion now, as well as a Mystic Vestment, and even another 1,000 gold saved up. So now that he is recovering, I mean, what would you like to see him pick up next? Continued tank route or more just DPS here?
I love his recovery. I definitely think a Shrunken Head would be great. I mean, I always seem to talk about that item, but if not a Shrunken Head, then definitely a Frostburn. It seems to be the standard build on Corrupted Disciple. It increases his movement speed by a lot. Basically, when he uses those Ghost Marches in Frostburn, I think he has max movement speed with a max aura. And then just the slowing ability, it gives you a little bit of tanky nature, it gives you good damage. And yeah, that's a good ability. I still think Shrunken Head is great, especially for the Keeper ultimate. Keeper jumps in with the ultimate, and you're able to easily get out of it. Of course, the Magmus ultimate eruption. Magmus almost has that portal key, by the way, so being able to mitigate all of that damage with that Shrunken Head is always important. Seeing how, yes, he does have a Helmet of Black Legion and investments, but he's still only sitting at 1,200 HP. So an ultimate from Magmus on top of the Keeper the Force ultimate could do a lot of damage, and being able to mitigate that with the Shrunken Head is very important.
Yeah. Now, Magmus, you mentioned, I mean, he is now very close to that portal key, but it seems like he's been close a couple times, but again, he only has the 2 deaths, but maybe it's just been... And here we go! The jump happens onto him, so the bad karma continues. Aluna's going to get caught as well. He'll be tongue-tied down, and Franzi will fall right there. Double tap kill, and most likely a tower kill out of this as well. Chessie is nearby, but unless he has supports coming in, he probably wants to get the hell away. Glacius is here. Will he root one of the creeps? He gets double rooted by the Skeleton King. Bubbles is chasing. I don't think he's going to be able to catch him, though. They're just going to finish off the creeps. Yeah, you might as well in this case. Nice port back on the Skeleton King.
Oh, no.
But Ophelia's going to get caught, actually. Nice done with the Minotaur. Not enough, though, and the Minotaur will also fall when it's all said and done. So Trademark eSports, man. Massacre indeed. They get the tower kill, and talk about just a complete swing lately.
Yeah.
4,500 gold lead, 5,500 experience lead. 22 minutes into the game.
And Corrupted just got a lot more gold as well. But this goes back to that, you were asking about the pickup on Polywog with the early Ring of Sorcery. And it's doing wonders right now. He would not be able to jump in and get these extra kills because he would have a huge deficit of mana. So I really like that pickup. On top of the Ring of Sorcery, also on Tempest, they're able to stay and push and continue team fights very long, much longer than normal because of that massive mana. Port comes out for Bubbles, actually. He's going to port up in the top lane. He's almost close to, or he's very close to his portal key as well, about 1,700 gold. And he's also got a Grave Locket, Steam Boot, Vestments. He's got all his core items, and once he gets that portal key, he's really got everything he needs. Everything after that, again, is luxury. And then, of course, the Corrupted Disciple. He bought a Firebrand, so could possibly go for that Geometer's Bane, or maybe that Frostburn, like I mentioned. I think both items are just fine. I actually even think, now that I think about it, if you do something like a Geometer's Bane plus a Shrunken Head, that could be very effective. But we'll wait and see. Any of those builds actually are just fine.
Speaking of portal key on Bubbles, double portal key just purchased on the Legion team. We just got both Silhouette and Magmus. Finally, Magmus especially finally just finishing his, but of course Silhouette, that's our follow-up item to the Null Stone, what we see quite often. And now Haxrin can definitely start to play a little bit more aggressive herself, and in fact at this top lane, that may be incoming here. Of course, he does have the assistance from Aluna, so Bubbles up, being played by Zai. He may be in a little bit of trouble. There goes a tree grapple. Nope, he's just going to use it for the attack speed and farm the creeps. Bubbles ports into Keeper the Force zone. Keeper the Force could get a kill right here. If he roots, isn't even necessary. He's trying to hero block up Silhouette just a little bit too far away. And they're just going to let him go. Polywog Priest will look to counter, but no. Port out for Polywog. For Keeper, but he ported into some creeps right here. Of course, deactivated the invisibility, and now he's in a little bit of trouble. Silhouette ported in, but he ports out with the illusion. Tempest is here. No ultimate's going to be used, though. The count fill will lock in Luna. In comes Magmus. Keeper the Force already picked off. A little will fall. Magmus by the Tempest ultimate, pulling him in. Decent amount of damage. So Lava Surge is going to be used. He's going to destroy it a little bit with the Steam Bath right there, but will it matter? In the end, it's just a little bit too far away. Polywog Priest ports in. The Hex goes out, and down goes Magmus. Very good exchange once again for Trademark eSports. Another 3-for-1. Complexity, man. They got desperate there, it seemed like. They wanted to keep helping each other. It didn't work out.
I mean, at first that looked like the most comical ulti coming out from Tempest. I don't even think he had one initially. I think Aluna actually maybe even walked into it. Nonetheless, it was an ulti on an Aluna that was already going to die.
Yeah.
But Magmus blinked in with his eruption activated.
Yeah.
I don't think he actually saw the position. I don't know. He had to have seen him because the Luna was sitting right there. So unfortunately, Bika jumped into the ultimate and it actually ended up working out heavily in TDM's favor. They definitely have the lead in this game right now. Silhouette, she did not die. That's a great thing for them. But doesn't have the I mean, yeah, she has 415 gold per minute, but a null stone in a portal key, that's not going to cut it against this team fight team coming out from TDM.
Silhouette booked it from the beginning. I mean, she was in there, but she just ported to illusion and just ran away. I mean, so especially with her not being there, you could definitely argue that why Magnus even thought to follow up in the first place, what he was ultimately thinking there. Now, at the bottom lane, there is going to be a pick on a Polywalk Priest between Silhouette and Ophelia. So again, Silhouette taking advantage of that portal key and does eventually get the kill on a Polywalk Priest. And they are going to continue to pressure this bottom lane in the meantime. The tower is still a good amount of life left, just over 1,000, dropping quickly. Port is coming in though. Kelvin to hold him in place. In comes the song and say, in comes Tempest. Nice Minotaur stun though by Chessie. The follow-up Minotaur stun. Luna is here as well. Tempest in a lot of trouble actually, going to tap himself away. He puts the combo down. In comes Corrupted to tap it on. Polywalk Priest towards the party. Nice counter initiation for Keeper of the Forest, but Silhouette's completely locked down. Does he have an illusion up? I don't think he does. He's probably going to end up dropping right. No, never mind. Invisibility going to be used, but they know he needs to be nearby, but he does have the portal key up now. The chase continues, however, on to Franzi. Nice heal by Ophelia, but the Electric Tide will finish him off. Down goes Keeper of the Forest, and now Chessie running back in with the Minotaurs and the Skeleton King, but is it going to be enough for them? Magnus got a great eruption from him. Magnus, 2 players fall. Corrupted a Cypher lockdown. He will go down. 2 players left here for Trademark eSports. There's a 4th kill, and Bubbles, the final one alive to prevent the genocide. Great shell surf poured out, though, and he will be fine. He snipes the regen rune, actually. No, but what cost right here? He's going to get caught, and Silhouette, one more auto attack. One more. Yes, the Steam Bath will finish him. A genocide for Complexity when it's all said and done. Wow, what an eruption by Magnus.
I gotta say, yeah, that was looking really bad at first for Complexity. Moonmander jumped in, actually, he blinked in, I feel like, to try to save Franzi, who was already going to die. He wanted to invis him. Franzi already died, then actually Moon got himself killed, so it's like, oh no, what is going on? This is crumbling. But B-Kid totally saved the day with a gigantic ultimate, did so much damage. So this is still a game now. We got a game now ahead of us. Haxerin, that furthered his farm a ton. It seemed like a second ago he had no gold. Now he has 3,000 pulled up. So that's going to be tougher for Noob G to kind of carry this game with those great ultimates coming out from B-Kid.
Swagmas is in the house. Yeah, very good ultimate right there from B-Kid indeed, and really just you could even argue just keeping Complexity in this game. I mean, if they just lost that fight, I agree with you. I mean, it was looking grim early on. They lost that fight like they could have, then TDM may started to run away a little bit, but no, that wasn't the case. They definitely fought them off. Now, technically, according to the stats, it is still an advantage in favor of Trademark eSports, but it has gotten very close, if anything. Like you said, we really have a game, if anything, as well. So, hell of a game here. We have 1-0 series, or it is a 1-0 lead in favor of Trademark eSports, of course, here in game number 2. Trying to pull an upset, definitely over Complexity, but Complexity now holding their own. And, like I said, very, very even game here. They're going to make a push here at the top lane, though, is Trademark eSports. By the way, look at my nuts on Tempest. We talked about this.
Yeah.
He went Helm of the Black Legion into Shaman's Headdress. So, yeah, he's going a very more of a team support style and just staying alive, really, rather than that typical Portakey Shrunken Head. But, you know, for reasons as we gave earlier, kind of makes sense. This tower is going to start dropping. The Legion team somewhat here, though. Keeper of the Force, he's ready to jump in if they want. But you see the Ward of Revelation has also already been placed down by Trademark eSports. So if Keeper tries to come in with some invisibility, he will need to be very, very careful for that. But a 5 versus 5 fight, if this push now continues, it definitely is going to be happening. In fact, Chessie running up. Silhouette jumps in a little bit on the ledge right there. Tempest with the counterstone, though, as they're trying to keep Polywalk Priest alive. He will eventually get nuked down. Magnus with the eruption, but minimal damage. In comes the Kelfield. The Electrotide. The Tempest ultimate. It only catches a Luna, though. Franzi will be able to escape. Nice job with the Skeleton King, stunning him out. And now Tempest getting turned on Silhouette. Too much damage. Corrupted Disciple getting surrounded by all the freaking minions. He'll eventually be picked off. And only 2 players survive. Glacius, one of them. He's in a little bit of trouble. And, he's going to try to run. I don't think he's going to make it out of here, though. He probably will eventually fall. And it'll make it 4 kills in total. Once again, in fact, there we go. And Complexity now has an advantage here.
This is why you got to question that build by Minuts. Despite him maybe thinking that there's just too much stun, too much team fight to cancel it, all you have to do really is, despite all that being there for Complexity, is just sit in the back, wait for them to initiate on you. Basically, you're countering your entire team by just waiting in the back for a perfect ultimate, because I saw a time there. If you had a portal key, it would have been of course, they play differently because they know Minus doesn't have a portal key. That's a very, very good point, but still, these ultimates are a complete non-factor in these team fights from Tempest. It's a complete non-factor, and Complexity's taking full advantage of that.
Yeah, so that huge, huge, huge fights for Complexity coming out. It looks like we're going to have a restart here in one of the players from Trademark eSports. So a quick pause in the action. But again, here in game number 2, TDM up one game to nothing. But Complexity really fighting strong now, and TDM, no doubt, they're the ones a little bit behind here. And that does go a little bit back to Noob G here on Corrupted Disciple, and how his farm and overall how he was going to be able to compete as a hero, especially against the Silhouette. And he's getting close to finishing that Geometer's Bane, but he still doesn't even have that finish. We're now approaching the 30-minute mark. I mean, when Ghost marches home with the Black Legion, you'd figure by now he'd have that nice core item, but still doesn't have that finish. So that's definitely an unfortunate thing there for the Hellborn side. Silhouette, by the way, she actually went Shieldbreaker. She currently has a level 1 as well as a Mighty Blade picked up here, so a little bit interesting too. In fact, what do you think of that? What do you think of the Shieldbreaker pickup?
I think it's fine. I think it's just fine. She's going to have the damage late game to contest against this Corrupted Disciple for sure. But yeah, I just really got to go back to the not having a portal key on Tempest, and especially when you have 2 other people initiating very well on your team with being the Polywog and the Bubbles, both with portal keys. I feel like it would just synergize that much better to have a 3rd one, especially on the Tempest. So Complexity definitely in the lead right here. Not even so much with the numbers of 5,300 gold, 3,700 experience, but just the fact that they are getting the jump, they are feeling it. They have the momentum swinging in their favor for sure. Yeah. There's a barrier idol picked up on onto sorry, that's Ophelia. Yeah. So that's going to mitigate quite a lot of damage. But yeah, TDM's got to get the jump now, because it seems like in these last engagements, the team that really gets the jump is going to be the team that wins, and it's hard to do that when you don't have all the initiation tools that you need.
Well, Keeper the Force, he is going to continue to farm the Hellborn jungle, actually. In fact, getting a double stack right here, so he will gladly take that. He actually just finished his Abyssal Skull, I think, so it's just a matter now of having it delivered to him. But they'll have that Abyssal Skull on top of, you said, the Barrier Idol that was just purchased by Ophelia. So a lot of team fight items also coming out here for Complexity. And really, though, in the end, getting that jump is going to continue to be so important here for both of these teams. So farm will continue for now 30.5 minutes in. It's a 16 to 13 hero kill advantage, of course, in favor of Complexity. And look at Haxorn's farm, now up to 500 gold per minute. He has just skyrocketed up there, really, in this game. Again, obviously, he did have a great start because of the situation, and he's just really maximized that. So big news there for Complexity. Noob G is still trying to finish that Geometer's Bane himself, and then work on his way to, of course, that next item, and just all across the board here for the Hellborn team. I mean, you got to wonder now, too, maybe after that last fight, if Tempest is going to look at that and now go for a portal key himself, or if it's going to be a case of he's kind of committed to this, maybe he's going to finish a Barrier Idol first, and then maybe think about getting it. So, but we'll see. We'll see if that portal key does eventually come out here from Tempest.
I don't think it will.
You don't think so?
I think, well, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, he definitely needs it, I feel like. But Magnus now has that Shrunken Head as well. Moon's kind of going the more support route. He has that Abyssal Skull on top of the Plated Greaves, so he's not looking to really get too late game himself. But he doesn't have to worry about that because Haxorn's got that really all covered for him. I'm pretty sure Haxorn's bought something. Let me just double check that career. It is a completed Shrunken Head, as well as Beakid's entire Shrunken Head. So that's a very, very rich courier right now. Imagine if that got killed.
Yeah, you don't want that dying, to say the least. So, yeah, that is being delivered down into the bottom lane. A possible fight is going to be coming. So, yeah, could you imagine a jump right now, getting this fight, the courier still coming? That would really suck. But they are going to get the Shrunken Heads in the end, in both Silhouette and Magnus, as we talked about. So that is going to be even more difficult now for the Hellborn team to have to worry about that. But they just give up the bottom tower, really, as they probably should. Not in any right set to fight right now. So they're just going to continue to farm a little bit. Obviously, if they start pushing the base, then they'll address that. But that's not going to happen here for Complexity. Well, they maybe look at Congor. You see, well, they are looking at Congor, but will they actually commit to it? It doesn't look like that's going to be the case for now. They're going to counter ward up. Do they have a bound eye, I'm guessing? Or no? Yeah, they do have a bound eye, Keeper the Forest, so able to spot things out with him. And now here they go. Going to start Congor a little bit. Something tells me they're not going to really commit to this, but maybe. They do have a lot of minions here, so this could get interesting fast, actually.
There's no vision out from TDM. In fact, they have very little wards. The only ward up on the map is that top rune. They do have a good idea, though, but there is a ward spotting out Tempest. If they initiate him, I feel like that's game.
Magnus will jump in with a Shrunken Head. Tempest in a lot of trouble. The Eruption going to be used. There's the tap it away, though, and Magnus completely whiffs the Eruption in the end. Bubbles is going to get caught using the takeover. right after. About Tempest trying to find a placement himself. In comes Corrupted Disciple. One player already down, though, in Bubbles from the start. No kill for him. Nice Lava Surge stun right there, hitting pretty much every hero on the team with the Hellborn. Silhouette in the front lines, takes out Polywog Priest. And it's right now 3 versus 5. Make that 4 versus 5 as Bubbles does buy back, actually. Make that 4 versus 4. Chessie did go taking out Autophilia. They're trying to chase down this Illuna now, make it a 4 versus 3, and that they will accomplish as they get her killed. And they may be able to go back to Congor. He is at half-life, actually.
Yeah.
So this could be a Congor snipe from TDM if they choose to, and it doesn't look like it, though. They're not going to go for the Congor kill here, at least yet.
Yeah, not yet. They did pick up the bound die. I want to say, okay, they picked up one of their own. So Moon had that bound die. Moon, by the way, had not used the ultimate that fight. I was wondering if maybe he was going to jump in there, but decided not to. Unfortunately, that was kind of an iffy play by B-Kid, I gotta say. He jumped in there with the shotgun that activated, ultied. It was a, this is why you ulti. This is why you get a portal key, so you can ulti and then jump in. And so everyone just backed away once he started channeling that ulti. He does not have the ultimate. He does not have a trunk head. So actually, yeah, I do feel like TDM actually could maybe take a fight here. Tempest ultimate is still off cooldown. So that's a big thing for them.
No, we see Congor going out of the pit, though. He's chasing somebody, so some misses started happening, actually. And they're not going to figure it. Silhouette will solo jump this Bubbles, but Bubbles should be able to shell surf away and be fine. So, yeah, not able to. TDM decides to back down at the last second, but Congor is so low that, yeah, you got it. Both teams are going to stay around this area. I mean, there's no way you leave this area right now. You see all the minions going in. And Complexity may just try to do it that way. Tempest is here, though. He's going to tap himself forward. The ultimate coming out. A great ultimate, actually. Pulling out 3 heals on top of the Song of the Sea. But it will finally get canceled. Killfield coming out. The Ophelia heal on top of that. Corrupted Disciple, though, pounding in damage now. Will kill Illuna. You see Magmus just trying to tear up anyone he can. 2 players have already fallen on the Hellborn team. And Polywog and Bubbles. No, Polywog and Tempest, actually. Corrupted Disciple just running away. Meanwhile, back in the fight. That was Polywog and Tempest. So, yeah, Bubbles is still alive. Glacius is down. Bubbles just going to portal key away. And Corrupted Disciple already porting back to base. But finally, Congor will go down. And it will go in favor of Complexity here.
I don't know how you can expect that to work. Like, I'm going to push book and then ulti 2 people in without a chunk. Like, how could that not get canceled? Like, of course it's going to get canceled. That was just a silly decision. I mean, it looked good for a second, but there was no follow-up, really. The push book ulti does not work on Tempest against this team. You have to ulti really, really late. If anything, you can't initiate with it. But yeah, that was canceled pretty much right on cue for B-Kid. And they're going to push this. They know they don't have a Tempest ultimate. Not like it's really been that much use this game. But there's no Kelp field. The wards are up from Poly, so maybe that's a cue for TDM to kind of defend this push.
Yeah, and the last thing you want to do is give up the racks here. But the melee rack is dropping very, very quickly. It's not going to fall, though, in the end. As it will stay alive for now. You see Ophelia charging in, though, with the minions. The wards go down. Silhouette jumps in. She does have the token alive. Inca's keeping the force as well. They're going to get the melee racks as well as more on top of that. Tempest gets caught out here. Corrupted Disciple, he is still alive, actually, in the background, but the racks did fall, and everyone is still alive. Make that one person down to keep it the forest, but the rest will get out of there with their life for Complexity. Or will they, actually? Ophelia's going to get caught right here. Do they have a stun ready? No, they do not. Chessie gets away. Tempest stun, I guess it was on cooldown. It just clicked on him after. I did hear it right before that, so it must have just came off cooldown right there.
It was on cooldown as well as his push book. He push booked himself, so wasn't able to use that to cancel the TP, and Chessie gets away scot-free. And they're now at a giant deficit, TDM is, that is. And they don't have the carry to finish this. I'm sorry, but this build on Tempest is just not working out at all. They cannot fight this. They can actually, Haxorn jumps in very, very aggressively. There's a stun from B-Kid. Champion of Newerth coming out for Haxorn. He is farmed. He is 9-0 and 10. And there's the vote to concede coming out from Minus. And there's the GG well played. And well played by Complexity. It looked so good at the beginning for TDM. Back and forth actually really all game until at one point, the turning point where B-Kid really ultimately saved the day for Complexity. Yeah, that really was a back and forth game, to say the least. But in the end, Complexity, of course, a victorious Trademark eSports as far as they're concerned. You can question maybe a little bit of the Tempest build. You can question going the Corrupted Disciple pick and having him underfarmed early on. It really did hurt them. They had some good fights. They seemed like they were starting to get a little bit of something going, but Complexity, they kept their cool. They know that they're considered really the best team in the HoN scene right now, and showed why right there. Definitely making a strong comeback and forcing a game number 3. Darn it, I know we're going to a game number 3. That sucks. A Complexity versus TDM, that should be a lot of fun, though, Trev. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the way they drafted Complexity they had lots of team fight potential. Cube of the Forest, even though Moon had really no farm, he did have an early portal key, very, very early portal key, and it sets up really easy fights. I mean, that ultimate pretty much covers the entire map. You got B-Kid following up or initiating what have you with the blink on Magnus, and then Chessie, of course, with the heal. That's a massive team fight ability.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he had the Astrolabe, so lots of heal there. But good giraffe by Complexity. It looked very scary there at the beginning. I thought we might even see a 2-0 coming out for TDM, but yeah, I really do. Unfortunately, I'm not quite sure about the Tempest build. Still, nonetheless, had a very good presence the early game, but Complexity able to take it with a good late game draft.
Awesome, awesome game indeed. So I'm sure you guys were entertained. And again, we are going now to a game number 3 here between Complexity and Trademark eSports. Who will go to the grand finals and who will have to play TT eSports in the losers bracket finals just after this series? Will it be Complexity? Will it be Trademark? Stay tuned, guys. Game 3 is going to be coming up next.